Hello, what's up, and what's happening? Welcome to another conversation video. It's Sunday. It's what I try to do on Sundays. I missed y'all last Sunday. I do apologize, but let's get right into it, man. About 10 days ago, Thursday of last week, I believe, EA dropped, their connected franchise stuff, and what they had to say was pretty, good. I will have to say that I do like the new additions. I do like the simpler menu layout and stuff like that. But to me, was still missing the NFL experience. Now, the game that we're looking at right now is NFL head coach, and look at this. You can actually talk to an assistant. You have a big, board meeting. You can game plan and stuff like that. Maybe for the owner, you can set a budget. Maybe you talk to your scouts and stuff like that. But you get to see it. Practice is really practice where you get to come up with new plays, get to create a play. ESPN integrated, they had ESPN integration in their game. Look at the draft and Mel Kiper, and then if you're a great head coach, your butt gets to the Hall of Fame. Like, to me, that is an NFL experience right there. That was like 5 seconds. That was like 5 seconds of like an NFL life right there. You do scouting, you talk to your assistants, stuff like that. Like to me, that is what we need. All these little screens and all this little other stuff is cool, but it's like, where is the actual experience? Like, stop showing me screens. When we gonna get press conferences? When are we actually gonna get like endorsement deals and see our players on a billboard, or have our players have a commercial or something like that? When we actually gonna get in there and actually see assistant coaches? When are we gonna see assistant coaches on the sideline? Like, there's so much more that they could put into this game, and they give us new menus. Like, come on, look at Trey Wingo. Look at Mel Kiper. Rest in peace. Look at Steve Sable. Like, this is where it needs to get to. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not quite sure what Playmaker is. I don't know if it's just a new broadcasting thing or if it's like a new superstar thing. But if it is a new superstar thing, we've already had superstar in this game, and it was pretty good back in Madden 07. I must say myself, road to the Hall of Fame. Get your butt to the Hall of Fame as a player. Be the greatest safety, linebacker, running back, receiver, quarterback, tight end, whoever of all time. You know what I mean? And it was just so dope. You get to pick your parents. Your parents' DNA had something to do with it. Check this out. You actually had an apartment. You had an apartment that you had to like check out and stuff like that. And then of course you could upgrade to the house. They had some type of interview. Look at this. Look at that. They had some type of interview back in 07. Now, I remember that. You had an interview with like Rich Eisen. You had an interview with like other players and stuff like that around the league. Look at this for the player progression. You have a good play. Look, your Hall of Fame meter goes up. You start balling. I'm telling you, your Hall of Fame meter goes up. But then again, if you start, messing up and stuff like that, then it goes right back down. It's easy to understand. You play good, your meter goes up. You play bad, your meter goes down. You know what I mean? And when you're that, great of a player, you can influence the game. Like back then, if you was a great player, you could pick different roles, and that would not only help your team out, but it would affect the other team negatively. So the player progression and the dynamic goals and the in-game goals and stuff like that, that's cool, but y'all should have already been there. This is why nobody's ever impressed with Madden, because you guys should have been there. They're so far behind the NBA 2K. They're so far behind the MLB The Show. It's ridiculous. This is why the stuff that they bring out, it doesn't impress anybody. Now, they showed another screenshot where there's a combine. You could check out people, it was like 40 times, I guess. Do we actually get to see it, though? Do we actually get to see one of the players that was scouted? Do we actually get to see them run the 40? You know what I mean? Do we actually get to experience it if we doing like a superstar type of mode? Do we actually get to experience running the 40? So this is me running the 40 with Vernon Davis. He was a glitch back in the day. Probably still is at times. But check this out. This is the 40. And the crowd goes crazy. The scouts go ooh and ah and all this other stuff. And it's like, that's what we need to see. Don't tell me what happened at the combine. Let me actually see some type of combine. And then of course the bench press. These are the two most important things. How much do you bench? How fast can you run? Yeah, the vertical is cool. Yeah, the broad jump is cool and all that other stuff. But how much can you bench and how fast can you run? Those are like the criteria for the freaking underwear Olympics. You know what I mean? So it's like, could we see this? Don't just tell me. Don't just tell me what happened. Don't just give me a screen of what happened. We should be able to see players working out. Maybe we're talking to our assistant coach. Maybe the owner's talking to the head coach or the GM, and you see this, players, generic players on the field working out in Indianapolis. That's what we should be seeing. They have free practice now. Okay, free practice. Is it actually going to look like a practice, or is it going to look like a game with nobody there? Okay, the practice uniforms basically on the 360 and PlayStation 4, Xbox One, you are wearing your regular jerseys. Quarterbacks don't have the little red thing on to say don't hit me and stuff like that. They don't have a different color jersey on than anybody else. There's nobody wearing shorts. I mean, in 2K, you really didn't get to see, and I'm talking about ESPN Info 2K5, you didn't get to see but they had an option for your practice. Full pads, half pads, or just helmet and shorts and you know, in a t-shirt basically. So like, that's what we need. Now to the in-game presentation. I know that gameplay is a bigger issue than presentation, and I get that. I truly get that. But if you play Connect the Franchise like I play Connect the Franchise, you really get the same intro every single time. You play 2K, you get about 5 different intros. You don't know which intro you're gonna get. Sometimes they introduce the players. Sometimes it's the national anthem. Sometimes, you know, it's guys doing the little pregame stuff. You know what I mean? There's so many different, you know, presentation angles pregame that you could get in 2K, but you just don't get in Madden. You just don't get it, man. So, of course, this is a custom one for the Baltimore Ravens. In the Madden 2012, every team had a custom one. But, of course, with Ray Lewis coming out the tunnel, it's the most obvious. In Madden 11, you had Drew Brees, you know, doing his little chant and stuff like that with the Saints. So, they can do it. They just choose not to do it. And it's just, it's beyond words, man. Last clip of the video is the Super Bowl. Now, the Super Bowl, to me, is the greatest sporting event of all time. Greatest sporting event in sports history, in my opinion. But where's, like, the information in Madden 15 about how many Super Bowls your team has won? You know what I mean? Like, does the broadcast team know what's really going on? Is there really a storyline leading up to Super Bowl? Like, I wish if we do a Connect the Franchise, and there's a rookie quarterback that comes in the second year that you do your franchise, and let's say you do 10, 15 years. Maybe you have time like that on your hands. And this rookie quarterback has the same story as John Elway. You know what I mean? Wasted his last 2 years of his career to win the Super Bowl. And like, the broadcast team don't know that. They just don't know that. They are just dumbfounded. It's just a regular game. It's just a regular game. There's no real special commentary or nothing like that that's unique to the exact situation. Now, in Madden 12, they had it unique to the exact situation. I'm going to play a clip from Gus Johnson in the booth with Chris Collinsworth. And in this gameplay, the 49ers, we win Super Bowl number 6. Now, this is without losing to the Ravens or nothing like that. So, at this point, we have only been to the Super Bowl 5 times, and we have won it 5 times. So, we are a perfect 5-0 in the Super Bowl. This is without Ray Lewis and Ed Reed doing their thing. Check it out. Listen up.
And he'll just kneel it here. Historic. The red and gold have done it again. The San Francisco 49ers are Super Bowl 46 champions. Move over, Pittsburgh Steelers. You've got company. For a record-tying 6th time, the 49ers have claimed the Lombardi Trophy. What a difficult road it's been. Their first time returning to the postseason since 2002, and boy, did they make it count. Running this franchise's all-time Super Bowl record to a perfect 6-0. These last years have been a struggle for the Bay Area faithful, but hesitant enthusiasm over Jim Harbaugh's hiring as coach has swiftly morphed into gleeful celebration. There's no doubt he was the right man for the job, as he's catapulted this team from also-ran the champion in one unforgettable season. Ready Market Street for a parade? San Francisco, the Lombardi Trophy is coming home.
So that's the stuff that I'm talking about. They knew that the 49ers were undefeated in the Super Bowl. They knew that they just tied the Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 Lombardi trophies. They're talking about the hiring of Jim Harbaugh and stuff like that. This is what we need. We need a full NFL experience. Stop giving us screenshots while we play. Give us something unique. You have done it before, then for whatever reason, you just want to focus on Ultimate Team and stuff like that. I get the Ultimate Team is your breadwinner, EA Sports, but for the people that don't play much, or don't, you know, spend money on much, we need something that's a true NFL experience, and you guys are just dropping the ball. So that speech right there, that little broadcast commentary that Gus Johnson was given, that is given for every single team. It's not just, I know black screen is up, I gotta keep going though. It is not just about, you know, the 49ers. They did that for every single team. If you're a Browns fan, they talk about how the Browns have never made it to a Super Bowl on their first try. They get there. You know what I mean? Or for the Jaguars or for Houston Texans, it's like that. If it was the Pittsburgh Steelers, they would be talking about how they won 7 Super Bowls and stuff like that. The Cowboys, how they got to 6 and stuff like that. Like, it would have been so, like, it's just so deep. And if they could have built on it over the past couple of years, it could have even been better. But what they do is they take something out, put something else in, take that out the next year, put something else in, and then we just get this whole thing where you're just bringing in new features, new gimmicks and stuff like that. And it's like, y'all just got to give us a solid game. That's all we want. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day, and I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. Hot sauce.